Priya, and in today's video, I'm gonna be reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. I've had this book since like last year, May, and I still never got around to reading it. I'm probably the last person ever to read this, but I'm excited either way. I don't have much experience with fantasy, or actually, I don't have any experience at all. I feel like the only experience I have is reading like Twilight when I was younger years ago. But I'll give you updates throughout this video, and at the end, I'll give you a review and if I recommend it. So if you like that type of video, please like and please subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm at chapter 5, page 42, and I like it so far. It's entertaining, it's really holding my attention. And this is the part where she has to leave her home and she's going to like the other land. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but she has to either go there or she dies. It's like this thing where it's a life for a life. So either she goes there to live or she has to die. So she's leaving her home now, and I don't actually know what's gonna happen after that, but that's where I stopped off. I like it so far. So I haven't been reading A Court of Thorns and Roses because I've been reading Eileen, and that's like one of the weirdest books I've ever read. So that's been distracting me, but I'm ready to read Actor again and continue the reading vlog. So let's go! I'm on chapter 11 and I got to the part where her dad shows up, and that honestly really shocked me because I thought we would never hear about her dad or her sisters like ever again. And I'm scared for him because I don't think that they're going to protect him. But we'll see. Also, I have no idea if there's any romance in this, but I feel like there's going to be a love triangle between the main character Farah and Tamlin and Lucian. I think that's how you pronounce it. But again, we'll see. Those are my predictions. So if you've read this, maybe you know if I'm wrong or if I'm right. It wasn't actually her father. She was just seeing things. And I'm so gullible. I really thought that her father was there. And literally, like, one page later, I'm like, oh, he's not. But as for my other questions about if this is a romance or a love triangle, I still don't know. We'll see. Okay, I need to stop reading for a while so I can get back to reality. But I found out that she can't read. Well, she can barely read and she can barely write, and I found that so sad. And also, I just don't understand why she's trying to escape so bad if her family is taken care of and she's living a better life there. I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't be trying to escape, but okay, so I read a lot more yesterday, and I'm now on page 255, which is chapter 29 or something. And I feel like I had a completely different impression of this book. I didn't realize there would be a lot of romance, and I didn't realize the romance would be a focal point of the book. And I didn't realize that it would be this modern, I guess. I thought that they were gonna speak in some kind of language that I wouldn't really understand. I honestly think that about a lot of fantasy, and that's probably why I kind of avoid the genre in general. But now I want to read more because it's been really good so far. The only thing is that there's a lot of different creatures to remember. I don't know if these are actual things or made up things. I'm gonna guess that they're made up because I've never heard of these things in my life. And then I'm also always trying to remember which one's bad, which one's dangerous. Pretty much all of them are dangerous for her because she's human, but still try to remember the whole lore about Tamlin and all of that. That's kind of hard, but it's been okay. I also found out more about her father, Farah's dad, and how he lost his fortune and all that, which was really sad. And also Tamlin's, he opened up about his parents too. So I liked that part. I kind of feel like it could have been more of a slow burn and there could have been more build up and tension before they actually got together, but it's fine. It's okay. It was still good. It's still been really entertaining and I think I'm gonna finish it today. I feel like I'm probably just gonna sit and read most of it today because it really does hold my attention, which is always a good thing. I finally came across the character Rysand or Rysand. I have to look up how to pronounce that, but I know people like this character, but right now he's terrible. He's an awful person in this book. I don't know if there's character development in the other books, but for right now, I can't see why people love him. And I also was thinking, I remember earlier I said, is there going to be a love triangle between Farah, Tamlin, and Lucian? But I think it's Farah, Tamlin, and Rysand. I annotated some stuff. I probably could have annotated more, but I was being lazy to get up and get a pen. So I can't find the first one, but the last thing that I annotated was my father once told me I should let my sisters imagine a better life, a better world, and I told him that there's no such thing. I never understood because I couldn't believe that it was even possible until now. And that was when they first got together, and I thought that was really sweet. But anyway, so I'm at the point now where she's back home, and I can't believe she's back home. It's so weird. So I'm gonna continue and I'll see what happens when she's back home. I hope she goes back soon because, no offense, her home is not interesting. It's only interesting when she's in the other world. So I'll probably finish this today and then I will give you my full review. And if I recommend it or not. So far, yes. So I finally finished, and I feel like all the action happens in the second half of this book. She went back home, but she was only there for like a really short time. And as soon as she like talked to her sister and everything, I was like, her sister knows something is up. Her sister knows something is wrong. But then she went back immediately. Like that was very short lived, which I'm happy about because I feel like nothing can really happen if she's at home. I feel like throughout the book there were these like little surprises, like something would happen and then at the end you will realize like there's a consequence to that thing happening. And that just these little things were just like, oh my god. I kept getting like shocked, like the little plot twists. They got me all the time. I don't know if people think that this is predictable, but it always got me. So I feel like Rhysand's character is really interesting because I know a lot of people like him, and just based on this book, I feel like he could possibly have character development. And I mean, of course, by the end of it, things turn around and you realize he's not that terrible of a person. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I could ever love him as much as everyone else. Like Tamlin, I like Tamlin a lot. And I feel like they should stay together. At the time of her being his escort, all that part to me was just so like icky. I I hated all of that part. How do you forget all of that and love him? Maybe when if I read the other books, I probably will. If I read the other books, maybe I'll forget about it too. But also, the entire time that Tamlin was really quiet, I started to get worried that he didn't love her or he just didn't care anymore. But then they finally had their reunion, and I was like, okay, I'm happy. I can deal with this. But everything else just made me so anxious, and but that's a good thing, like in a good way. I wanted to keep reading the entire thing and see. I wanted so badly to see how it ended, and I really like it. I liked the ending. I honestly thought that it was going to end on a like really serious cliffhanger and I would like need to go read the next one immediately, but it didn't. I like the way that it ended, and I feel like I can read the next one maybe next month or something. I am kind of scared of them though because they're so long. They're like over 600 and 700 pages, the others. And I feel like that's a big commitment. The entire time I was reading this, I kept thinking this would make a good movie. Like the visuals would be good. And I have no idea if that's a thing that's going to happen because a lot of books are turning into movies these days or shows. But if it's gonna be a movie, I would totally go watch it. I feel like this book made me realize why people read one book in the fantasy genre and they just want to continue, because it's just, even though it's like kind of hard to get into because you have to learn about a whole new world, when you're in it, it's like you can't escape. You just want to learn to like stay in that world. And yeah, I feel like when it comes to reading as an escape, fantasy probably is the best genre, and I really want to read more. Overall, I give this a 4.5 stars, which is very high. The only reason I took off the point 0.5 is because some of the parts where they were world building, I was kind of checking out. And not because it was bad or boring, it was just like it was too much to remember. I think I said this earlier, like there's so many creatures I had to remember which ones were bad, which one were good. But then I also kind of just told myself they were all bad. And I was just like, she can't trust anyone. So that made it easier. But anyway, yeah, I really did enjoy this. I would probably finish the series, and it took me so long to read this. I don't know why. I'm glad I did. I definitely recommend it. And yeah, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and please subscribe, and I'll have more videos every week. Bye.